What's going on? This is going to be a bit different from the usual gaming stuff I put on here because I'm going to tell you a little bit about web hosting and which is the best web hosting, in my opinion, for people in the United Kingdom. Did you hear that voice, man? I need a podcast or like a talk show or something because that was exquisite. Okay, so few things you need to know before you go ahead and decide, you know what? I'm going to watch this guy's video. I'm not going to be going into super specific details because chances are if you're watching this video, you don't know a great lot about web hosting, and this video isn't designed to tell you a lot about web hosting in the sense of everything around it. I'm just here to tell you what I think is a great quality and confident choice for a web host should you desire one. For example, before I knew anything about web hosting and just needed to whack a website online, it was almost as if I wanted someone to just basically say, right, pick this, use this, be happy. And that's kind of what I've designed this around for the needs I had back in the day. I'm not just going to say, yup, hey, look at these guys. Oh, great, nice one, pick them. I am going to tell you why to pick them, but that's pretty much as far as it's going to go. The next thing you should know is I'm only really going to talk about shared web hosting and reseller hosting. I'm not going to talk about dedicated servers or VPSs or anything like that because that is completely different. I'm basing this for the guy that's just basically saying, yup, need a website, maybe a few websites, and I don't want to spend a fortune, but I want them to load quickly. Who do I pick? So I have chosen two companies who I can confidently say, yep, pick these guys, or these guys, and you'll be happy. You're not going to be restricted, well, maybe slight restrictions, but nothing that's really going to bother you, and everything's going to be hunky-dory, and you will have nice, fast websites, well, as long as you optimize them well. Now, I have used a lot of different web hosts over the years from many different places, many different price points, many different this, that and other. And by doing this, I've got a little list of things I demand from a web host for me to even consider using them, and I'm sure a lot of other people have done this as well. So without further ado, I will tell you what I demand from web hosts. The first thing, which is absolutely a no-brainer, is SSD storage. Now, I'm sure you can probably figure out why this is important. SSDs are faster than traditional hard drives, like a lot faster. So if your website's loading for faster drive, it's going to load quicker. In most cases anyway. Nowadays, I like to think most web hosts have also realized this and they are using SSDs. Some places even use NVMe drives, but that tends to be on like a more expensive plan. Now, if a web host doesn't use SSD, stay the hell away. The next thing I will always demand, and if they don't do it, they are just a set of robbing B-words. If a hosting company makes you pay for an SSL certificate, if you know what that means, it's basically the little padlock in the top left of your browser that tells you this website is safe. It's that. If they don't have that for free, then they are definitely not very nice. That's the best way I can put it, really. Most places do offer a free SSL certificate. If they don't, you don't really want to be going with them because they're clearly not very ethical. As far as I'm concerned, an SSL certificate nowadays is unoptional. You need to have one because most browsers will just give you a massive warning saying, yo, you may not want to go here. So unless you want to waste your money, go somewhere with a free SSL certificate. This next one, I say I demand it, but in some cases it doesn't matter too much, and that's unlimited bandwidth or unmetered bandwidth. To keep it simple, that basically just means how many people your website can handle there at once. So if you are planning on having a website where you're going to get thousands and thousands and thousands of visitors every month, you're probably going to want unlimited bandwidth or like a really high amount. If you're not planning on getting many visitors, and I'm going to be honest, if you're looking just to get web hosting now, chances are you're probably just testing it, having a go with it, seeing what you can make of it. So you really might not need it, but it's really nice to just know you've got unlimited bandwidth, even though there is actually no such thing as unlimited bandwidth. But it's really nice to just know you've got that there and that you can, whatever your website gets thrown at it, probably can handle it. Otherwise, you may just end up getting a load of slowdown and thinking, what the hell's going on here? And well, nobody wants that now, do they? The next thing I absolutely need, and is one of the most important things, is 24-hour support. Because chances are, now and then you might be up at like 2 in the morning messing with your new website, and all of a sudden something goes wrong, like, oh, your website's down, it's not loading, and you need to get it back up. If you've got a lot of clients and their websites go down and they're saying, what's going on? My email's not working. I can't get into my website. I can't access. Oh no, and then they start to like sue you and stuff. Having that 24-hour support where you can talk to them and they will get back to you as quick as possible and get everything back under control, everything working again, is absolutely vital. So yeah, this is a quick one, but 24-hour support, you need that. That has to be there. The last thing that I need from a web host is Lightspeed web servers. Now, this one is a bit more technical than the others, right? So basically, most web hosts don't actually have Lightspeed web servers. Most of them are actually running on Apache servers. And to keep this super simple, Lightspeed web servers are a hell of a lot faster and more efficient than Apache web servers. Nginx is also a really good one, but a lot of the times they mix Nginx and Lightspeed and they kind of combine the two to make it super awesomely cool. And that is pretty good. To keep it simple, for me, a web host needs to offer Lightspeed web servers because then I know I am getting excellent performance. So who do I recommend for web hosting? Well, there is 2 companies that I actually use and I'm in contact with on pretty much a daily basis for the various websites I host for myself and my clients. These 2 companies are Brixley and Crystal. Based off the list I've just given you, it's fair to say that these guys offer all of that, so no matter what, they're pretty much a safe bet anyway. But I'll go into a little bit of detail about each company, and overall, whichever one you choose to use, I'm happy to say, yep, go for them. I'm going to start off with Crystal. In regards to shared web hosting, there are 2 plans that most people are probably going to go for. The first plan, which is the cheapest, with VAT included, it's $5.99 a month or $59.99 a year with 2 months free. That is the Amethyst plan. You can have 2 websites hosted, 10 GB of disk space, which fair enough isn't massive, but if you're using this plan, it's probably just like a blog or like a landing page for your business, which is going to be more than enough. And you get 1 GB of RAM and 1 CPU core, which isn't amazing, but it is enough for what you're going to use this plan for. Like, you're not going to buy this plan, then try and make your own Tesco on there, right? Let's be honest. They have daily offsite backups. Offsite means it's not actually stored on their servers, so if anything on their end actually goes to absolute pants, you can still get your backup. My biggest problem with this plan is you don't have SSH access. That basically means accessing your server and all your files from elsewhere. For me, I need that, but in most cases, a lot of people won't. So if you're just looking to have like a small website with not a lot going on, this plan is really, really good. The second plan at $11.99 a month is the Ruby plan, and you get everything the other one has, except you've got unlimited storage. That is a massive step up in regards to the price anyway. You get 2 GB RAM and 2 CPU cores, which is pretty much the average. And a big thing is you do get SSH access with this plan. Honestly, I wish they wouldn't restrict that on the cheaper plan. Just offer SSH access. It's really not a massive selling point, if I'm honest, so just include it in everything, because that is really irritating, to be fair. On this plan, you also get a free domain for as long as you've got the hosting package, which is actually really cool. For me personally, I always recommend purchasing your domain names elsewhere and keeping everything separate, because if the web hosting company goes to pants and lose everything, you've pretty much just lost your domain. I recommend going Namecheap for your domains. I have a link in the description. It is an affiliate link, as well as both hosting companies I'm talking about. I've got affiliate links in the description. If you use it, I get a kickback, which is pretty sweet, but end of the day, it's up to you. You have more expensive plans, but if you're literally just getting into the web hosting game, you're probably not going to touch them, because they're going to offer a lot more than you're probably going to need. But if you are planning something big, they're definitely worth looking at. I will say that the higher plans than this one do offer premium NVMe SSD storage, which is like the king of the hill storage. Now, a few more pros about Crystal is that the client interface is absolutely stunning. I'm not even going to lie. They use the Cloud Linux operating system. In layman's terms, that basically means, since it is shared web hosting, all these different accounts and websites kind of stored on the same server, but you've got your own space that no one else can get into. You can't get into theirs, so everything is kept separate, which is a massive security boost. You have a 60-day money-back guarantee. That's how confident they are you're going to like their long-term service, and I'm pretty confident you'll like it too. And they do offer a WordPress staging feature. That basically means you can update your site without actually affecting your main site, then just slot the new one in place. A lot of this is stuff you'll need to look at, because if I'm going to explain it all, I'm going to be here for about 7 days. When it comes to Crystal, if you ask them a question, whether it's through a ticket or live chat, you're going to receive a response probably within the next 20 minutes, and the help and the service you receive is absolutely quality. They're really friendly, they're informative, and they can sort out pretty much any issue you'll have. I've even forced like a few issues myself just to see what they do, and they've always sorted it out. They've always had it fixed well within an hour. So honestly, when it comes to support, I can easily recommend Crystal. Now, I'm not really going to say too much about Crystal's reseller plan, because as far as I'm concerned, in the UK anyway, Brixlr is the only place you should look at for reseller web hosting. All I'm going to say about Crystal's reseller hosting is that it's good, but it's overpriced. So in my opinion, if you're just looking for some regular web hosting to get your website, few websites up out there, make sure they're running nice, Crystal is an absolute safe bet. But when it comes to reseller hosting, I can't recommend it simply due to the price. Now, when it comes to Brixlr, I'm not going to say an awful lot about their just regular shared web hosting that you do for yourself, because it is great, it's awesome, it's brilliant, but where Brixlr shine is in the reseller market, and they know this. But what I will say, in terms of web hosting, Brixlr offer pretty much the same as Crystal, but for a bit cheaper. However, in my tests, I have found Crystal to slightly outperform Brixlr. But with that said, if you're looking for some reseller hosting, Brixlr is the way to go, and I'm going to tell you why. Brixlr do have an entry-level reseller plan starting at a tenner a month. It has 50 GB of SSD storage, and you can have up to 20 cPanel accounts. For me, if you're gonna have a few clients, just a few, not an awful lot, not massive sites, this is absolutely brilliant for you. Each account comes with 2 GB of RAM and 2 CPU cores, which is pretty sweet. Like, you could literally get this just to host a load of your own websites on. However, in most cases, I'm going to say stay away from this one and go to the Reseller Pro. The way Brixlr do things a bit different is you can have unlimited storage, unlimited bandwidth. You're just limited by the number of cPanel accounts you want. So with the Reseller Pro, you can have between 50 and 250. If you need more than that, speak to them. They'll sort something out for you. But if you know you're going to have more than 20 clients, or any of your clients are going to have massive websites, this is great. You can upgrade the amount of cores and RAM per account. Obviously, you're going to pay for it. You can get a WHMCS license for just under £7 a month. If you don't know what WHMCS is, it's the way of automating your web hosting so people can buy it, sign up, whatever. You know, that will require a whole entire video on its own. But just know that it usually costs about £15. And to go along with that WHMCS license, they've also got something called the Brixlr Elite module, which allows you to resell their stuff, but to make it really, really easy. You can literally sell their products without really having... I'm going to struggle to explain it. Actually, this will require a video all in its own, not gonna lie to you, but just know that this Brixlr Elite module is absolutely quality. For example, you can resell their reseller hosting, you can resell their VPSs, you can resell their dedicated servers. It's actually really, really sweet. All of their web hosting packages come with BitNinja security, which is really, really cool. They have integrations with Crossbox Webmail, which is like... So obviously all this reseller hosting is white label. That means you can get rid of all of their branding and use your own branding, so you look like an actual super awesome company. Crossbox is kind of like that, but like a webmail app. Something that is an absolute game changer for me is Brixlr developed their own server-side caching platform called Bolt Cache. I'm not going to go into details explaining what it does, but all you need to know is it's an absolutely amazing caching tool, and you do it straight from cPanel. Obviously, I may miss something. Something may have changed since I wrote down all these points, so before you do purchase it, click the links to the description and have a look through the website yourself and see what's right for you. I'm going to say Brixlr all around is my favourite web host, but I also love Crystal. I host a lot of websites with both companies. I resell through Brixlr, and I have a lot of my own like landing pages and blogs and stuff with Crystal, but I'm happy to just say whack everything with Brixler. I feel mean saying it because I love both companies, but I prefer Brixler. I just think you get a slight bit more performance on your websites with Crystal. So overall, I'm going to say go with Brixler. They're cheaper and they are, when it comes to reselling, they are unmatched. They are the best resellers in the world, in my opinion. Crystal are an amazing web host. They're a bit more expensive than Brixler, but you do get that back in performance, but the performance is negligible. And Brixler, all around top web host. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.